do recommend changing it up occasionally. So there's two things. One is that it's good to establish a pattern first, because by establishing the pattern, you build the habit, which then makes it easy. So then you no longer have to think about it. So for example, cutting out snacks and skipping breakfast is an easy one, because it's once you build that into the habit, you no longer have to think about it, worry about it. You don't have to think, am I eating breakfast today? Am I not eating breakfast? You just don't, because that's just the way you do. And it makes it easy because the hunger typically just sort of goes away as well, because your body is used to the fact that you're not eating at 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So you want to first establish the baseline habit. Then if you get into a plateau, so if you're doing well, then there's no reason to switch. If you hit a plateau, which a lot of people do, that's when you want to start changing it up and go a little longer, go a little stricter, change it up in terms of what you're doing to sort of shake your body up a little bit. Because if you get into this sort of steady state where you did lose some weight, it did well, but now it's sort of flatlined, that's when you want to change it up every so often. And so you keep your baseline, but then every so often you throw in some extra stuff so that you shake it up. And it's no different than, say, exercise, where you would do a high intensity workout, for example. If you're sort of flatlined in terms of your progress, you might start doing some sort of interval sprints or whatever like that, right? I think it's doable. It all depends on what your goals are and how far along you are. So if you have severe health issues, well, I wouldn't recommend it at first. But if you're in a place that's good and you're happy with where you are and you want to, say, do a cheat day or whatever, then yeah, it's absolutely, because that's what's going to keep you sort of in tune with the whole program. And remember, fasting is flexible. That is, you don't have to do it every single day exactly the same. You could do none at all on Sunday and then do maybe a bit more on Monday, so that you don't the thing about holidays and these sort of cheat periods, like holidays, Christmas time, that kind of thing, is that most people, when you think about it, don't make up for it. So if you say you eat a certain amount and then you have a period, say Christmas, because that's where traditionally you see the most weight gain. So you eat a lot, like way too much, and not the right foods, right? A lot of cookies and ice cream and desserts. So that's fine. So you're eating, then you eat a lot. Well, then you go, okay, now it's January 2nd, so I'm going to go back to eating regularly. Well, you never made up for that period of a month where you ate too much. Like, you have to have a period of a month where you're eating a lot less in order to balance. You can't just go back to your usual. So again, same thing with the cheat days. If you say, okay, well, yeah, and I'm totally fine with it. Say you have a day, I don't want to think about it, where it's a day I'm just not going to think about. I'm going to eat what I feel like eating, and that's it. That's fine. But if you're going to eat more on that day and the wrong foods, then you should have another day that makes up for it, because you can't have a positive day, right? Say you're at 0, 0, 0, and then you're at positive, 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 and then you go back to 0, 0, 0. Well, where was all your negatives that canceled out your positive? You never had those.